Hi there everyone, I'm Kate and I really like having a cup of tea after church with friends at a cafe Zoom. I love it. But don't just take my word for it, let's have a listen to what other people have got to say.
So it says recording.
Okay, I put the veggies on.
No, that's the whole idea really, I think, Victoria, is the fact that you can do stuff. If you move out of shot or whatever, don't panic. That's the whole point. Is that all right? Fab, okay.
Anything goes. So
welcome everybody. This is a little promo video of Cafe Zoom, the thing that we do at church. After our main service, we have a little moment of a Zoom meeting together. It's incredibly relaxed occasion when you can have a cup of tea together, maybe something to nibble together. I've got flapjack. And so I've just invited a few friends to share with us ideas about what Cafe Zoom is all about. So, first question, I guess, is why come to Cafe Zoom? Who would like to ask that? I might pick somebody. Is that all right? Why do you come, Graham? Why would you come along to Cafe Zoom?
Basically, I see Cafe Zoom as being like it is the after church, after service cup of coffee. It's connecting with people, which obviously at the minute we can't do effectively.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's all about connecting with people, keeping in touch, having little chats with people.
Yeah. Now we have quite a large numbers coming to Cafe Zoom. So what I thought I'd also explain is that when we have a large number, so today we had 25 different people logging on, and many more than that people, because often people come in families or couples or whatever. And a Zoom manager person will be in charge, and we'll split the number of people into rooms that have around about 4, 5 or 6 logons, like we've got here on the screen. So then you can have a more a conversation that goes more smoothly because there's not too many people in it. And you might notice that Victoria in the screen is making her lunch. And getting her veggies ready with her apron on, and yay! And I've absolutely thrown Victoria in at this occasion. She didn't know she was going to do this interview, so thank you very much, Victoria. When you're in your little rooms, have you ever been put into a room with people that you don't know?
Yeah.
How about the awesome AWs? Would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, actually, at first you think, oh gosh, who's this person? And then it's really good actually just to ask them, you know, what they get up to, and you know, and funnily enough, as you get chatting, you actually realise that, you know, it's nice to meet new people, and you know, you share your week, so it's great.
Anybody else want to chip in? But this is what happens. It turns into a conversation. So I don't want to just lead this thing. So anybody else had that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I was just saying in our group just now in Cafe Zoom, it's really nice because often in church, when you're physically in church on a Sunday, I'm certainly someone who tends to like to stay in my comfort zone, and I'll perhaps go and chat to people who I know really well and stuff, and don't find it so easy to go and talk. I mean, I'm happy talking to people who are new into church and trying to make sure they feel comfortable, but it's just easy to slip into that. I'll go and chat to those people who I know really well. Whereas the Cafe Zoom is nice that, you know, you get to chat to different people that you perhaps wouldn't normally. And obviously between the two sites now as well, that's really good because I've got to know lots of people at KLC that I didn't really know before. So yeah, I think it's really nice. I mean, it can be a little bit, you know, you can feel a little bit nervous and stuff, but everyone's so lovely that it's fine, you know.
I agree with that. And I think the other thing when you're in church, I don't know about anyone else, but I always sit in the same place. It goes back to those school days, doesn't it? Where you tend to sort of talk to the people directly next to you or behind you, and you get in a bit of a comfort zone with that. And actually with Cafe Zoom, I feel that when we can get back into church, I'm going to know so many more people. And it gives you that opportunity also to pray in the week for them as well. Because quite often in breakout groups where we've gone around and spoken about our week, you can also say, well, what can I pray for you this week? And that's sort of thing that when you're in church, you would do anyway. You know, at the end of the service, we would have prayer ministry. And we haven't got that as such. We've got the KLC prayer and forefront do prayer as well. And we've got our prayer meetings. But to really hone into that from a Cafe Zoom afterwards as well has been really good.
Yeah. So you get that personal touch, don't you? And I think being a live Zoom meeting inevitably means that we can see our faces, we can see expressions, and And hopefully we're not trying to put on a face either. We, if there's moments of, we've had situations very recently of grief and of bereavement and so on, and that's real, isn't it? This is our real church life, and we can then share in a very as close a personal kind of conversation as we can do at the moment. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us know that. What would you say, Gills, what would you say is the best thing about Cafe Zoom?
I don't know.
Or anything else you want to say?
The spontaneity. I think I've enjoyed it because it is the opportunities to get to know other people whom you haven't met before. Now, I happen to have known Jill for over 30 years and Richard for over 30 years. But for instance, I didn't really know Victoria before Cafe Zoom.
Yeah.
I think we had an interesting morning when Victoria was, were you on your way to IKEA or something? I don't know.
Yes.
But it's all good fun, it's just, I think the other thing I would say is this, though, as Sarah said, at church you can get stuck in a rut and you get talking to the same people every week. Now in a group like this you are put into a room. Now in point of fact, it's quite funny the way in which the rooms seem to repeat themselves, so you do find yourself speaking to the same people every week. It's not new people every week. I don't know whether that's a fault of the system or how it happens, but anyway, that's the way it seemed to has worked out for us. But the thing is that in church, of course, if you want to strike up a conversation with a new person, you have to initiate the one-to-one conversation. In a breakout room, you've got half a dozen people. So, and the chances are that there will at least be, the person who comes in, well, no one person is going to be completely new to the whole group.
Yeah.
So there are already relationships existing, and the challenge is to develop that so that the person who only has one relationship, with another person, then develops that, and in the safety of the group as a whole, then you're able to relate to more people in the group than you had done previously. So actually, it's an interesting dynamic. It's a different dynamic from what you get in church, but it's very positive in some aspects. I hope people understand what I'm trying to say.
I do, yeah, definitely.
The thing,
I think the fact as well is you're actually in your own home, so people are kind of relaxed in their own environment as well, and are sort of comfortable and quite well, apart from Victoria when she's dashing off to IKEA, of course, but it just shows it doesn't really matter where you are in that sense, but you've just got an insight into actually someone's day-to-day lives in a very different way that we don't have that opportunity in church.
The thing that I found about meeting new people was, I'm also a bit of an introvert, so I'm not good at initiating conversation with people that I don't know. So Cafe Zoom, I think, is brilliant because, as you say, inevitably, most weeks you meet somebody that you've not chatted with before. I do, like Jeff said, it's like my wife and I used to always do Zoom separately. And yet we had 3 weeks running where we were put into the same breakout room. I'm in the kitchen, she's in the lounge. But no, I think, especially with, I think Victoria touched on it, the 2 sites. There's a lot of people at KLC that I didn't know before lockdown. And I've got to know little bits about their lives, and hopefully they have about me too. And I think that's brilliant. So it's not just about within your own church, it is that sharing among the 2 sites as well. And in a way, I almost hope we can keep doing something like this when we are back on, if there ever is a normal times again.
I was going to say that because I feel very much a part of, if you like, New Life Church, which is what the 2 sites we call now, very much part of it being one church and not 2 separate churches, because before it was always KLC, Forefront, 2 separate churches. Maybe they come under the same sort of umbrella, but two definitely different churches. Whereas now, because of meeting so many people from Forefront, I feel very much it's a sort of one church thing now. We are all one church. We might be split between 2 sites, but we are all one church. And I think, like Graham, I really hope that actually we can be brought together more frequently once we're back to normal. Once we're going back to the church buildings and having our services there. But actually, if there's some way we can bring everyone together, even if it's once a month, it would be really something.
We'll try and think about all sorts of ways of doing that and be more creative. And I guess that's the blessing of lockdown. I'm aware of time, so I'm wanting Victoria's lunch must be nearly ready. Did you want to share anything before we go? Rachel Gill.
Yeah, I was just going to say, some weeks that I've sort of struggled a bit to sort of like, yes, okay, let's do Cafe Zoom, usually because I'm just a bit disorganized myself or maybe not feeling too well. But I always am glad that I've done it after we've come on.
Right.
Always glad. You always feel uplifted by other people in the group. If you're not feeling great and you just sort of sit quiet, that's fine, because there are always 3 or 4 or 5 other people who will keep the conversation going. You don't have to be talking all the time. And I'm always blessed by it, always glad that I did it afterwards. And it doesn't last very long anyway, it's only about 20 minutes, but you go away feeling, oh, that was great, and I've made some connections this morning. So yeah,
I think that's important. It's about making connections in a time when the physical connection, going out and meeting people face to face, is impossible to do. It's important to keep the discipline of face to face online going.
Definitely. Wow, thank you so much, everybody. You have just filled in so many brilliant little gaps that some people might not know about Cafe Zoom, and even the actual fact that it's 20 minutes in a breakout room and then the meeting stops, so there's no kind of awkward ending sort of, oh gosh, I need to leave this person and I can't get out. It does have an ending, and so we're going to end, and so a big Zoom wave from everybody and a massive thank you.
Yes, Kate, you have the power to terminate the meeting.
Everybody,
Thanks, Kate.
enjoy your lunch, Victoria.
Take care.
So there you go. Hopefully that was a good taste of what Cafe Zoom might be like. If you'd like to join us, then please get in touch with the church for the Zoom code. We'll send it to you. All the contact details are on the website, which is klc.org.uk. And we'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.